Hi, everyone. It's Kathy Zant with WordCamp Phoenix, and today we have Tony Lee from WP Engine. He is a solutions engineer at WP Engine, and WP Engine is a Prince of Bel-Air sponsor, one of our gold level sponsors who will actually have a booth at WordCamp Phoenix. Are you a child of the 90s? Do you remember the Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is my favorite TV show growing up.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah. If we're talking about the 90s, and even up to the early 2000s. Yeah. I mean, I guess in 2020, I'm still like in love with Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Nothing has really changed there.
Well, the Carlton dance, I think, will go down in history as like one of the dances of all time, right?
Yeah. I try to do it myself, but it's definitely, it takes a lot of, flexibility in the neck.
Yeah, a lot of flexibility everywhere.
Yeah.
It's pretty epic. So you're a solutions engineer. What does that entail?
Yeah. A solutions engineer is, it comes in a variety of different shapes, but at WP Engine, we're essentially a team of technical folks that tag team with our sales reps. So our sales reps would talk about the platform, WP Engine's capabilities, and how we can solve the customer's problems. And what we come in and we validate that. We make sure that we understand what the customer is actually doing, what are their business pain points, their technical pain points, and provide our technical recommendations so that what we provide and what the customer is missing could be married. And then, we're in this happy place where both of the customer and us can provide a lot of value and help their business grow.
Wow, that's great. So you're really finding unique solutions that customers need and making sure that WP Engine meets those needs, it sounds like.
Yeah. Every customer is a different situation. So, depending on, they might have a e-commerce site or maybe a big brand that they're trying to move over to a managed platform. We want to make sure that we can actually understand what they're doing, how they're trying to solve for that, and just make it easier on them by offsetting a lot of the things like managing the infrastructure, the networking and application layer, all of the monitoring and analytics and maintenance, we take off their hands. So making sure that we can tell that story to our customers, not only from the super technical side, but also making it understandable for the marketing folks as well.
That's great. It sounds like that's part of what makes WP Engine such a successful business, is really meeting the needs of all different shapes and sizes of customers.
Yeah. And I'd say I've been at WP Engine for around 6 years, and I've seen it grow and evolve alongside WordPress. So it's cool to see that, WordPress is continuing to evolve, and we're moving up market as well, wanting to support enterprise customers and agencies and developers, and trying to win over their hearts and minds. And it's great to see how WordPress has developed, but we still every now and again get the whole thing is, wait, WordPress can do all of this stuff, like it can be, it can do all of these complex stuff, and it can do headless. And so it's really surprising for us to hear that, even though we're kind of in the thick of WordPress every day, a lot of folks out there using different CMSs, like Adobe or Sitecore, for example, aren't really aware. So it's up to us to educate them on WordPress's capabilities as well.
So what's new at WP Engine? Is there any new offerings or any new services that you're providing for customers?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting things that we're planning to do this year. Very recently, we've released an update for our Smart Plugin Manager. So a little bit about our smart plugin manager. It basically automates your plugin updates so that you don't have to do them manually, which can be really hairy. So there's a visual regression testing in place as well. So in the middle of the night, the plugin will check for your entire site's plugin list, and if there's a plugin, maybe there's a bunch of updates available, it'll update them one by one. And if one fails, it just doesn't update that one and it moves to the next one. So it's really cool. We're continuing to make that smart plugin manager smarter, no pun intended. And and some other things that we're also doing is, I don't know if you're aware of atomic blocks.
Yeah, definitely. Atomic blocks, something new with Gutenberg, right?
Yeah. So atomic blocks is part of WP Engine now, and it's basically a collection of blocks that's part of the new WordPress block editor, Gutenberg, as we all know. And so it allows for very intuitive, easy to use blocks where you can create templates really easily and really fast. And you can replicate that across multiple sites if you wanted to. So it's great for the marketing persona, especially if they're having to go live with a marketing campaign really fast and can't rely on the developers to develop something from scratch. Atomic blocks is really, really helpful in that case. And we're actually releasing a pro version with more capabilities later this year. So more to come with that.
Wow, that's really exciting. And you guys have a new partnership with HubSpot sounds like it's really beneficial for smaller businesses or even larger businesses that are trying to integrate across WordPress as well as through their marketing channels. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I know a little bit about that. So we do have some themes that are compatible with HubSpot, and HubSpot and WP Engine has worked on developing an integration. So I believe it's in the form of a plugin where you can actually download this HubSpot plugin and into WordPress, and it'll talk to via API HubSpot's platform. So if you have your entire CRM there, it'll be able to display feeds and all of that good marketing information over to your WordPress backend. So that's as much as I know about it, but it's a really cool thing over here. Yeah, and the other exciting thing also is our partnership with Flywheel. So I don't know if you've heard, last year we acquired Flywheel, which is awesome because they're a great culture fit, and their entire mission is to help serve customers also, and freelance agencies and developers. So it's cool to be able to see what we're going to be doing this year, which is helping make local better. So local by Flywheel, and we'll be working on integrating that into our WP Engine platform as well, and offering that to our customers. So there's a nice website out there. I'll have to send you a link so that you can share it, but it's how to connect to WP Engine with local by Flywheel. So it's a good first step. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I've heard, I haven't had a chance to use local, but everybody that I've talked to about it has raved. So just the fact that local by Flywheel and all of the benefits of working with Flywheel now coming to the WP Engine platform sounds like you guys are really taking the game to the next level. Sounds really exciting. So I'd really like to talk a little bit about, because I know you're going to be speaking at WordCamp Phoenix, and I'd love to talk a little bit about what you're going to be speaking about. What's the title of your talk again?
Preparing for the Flood, how to load test to prepare your WordPress site for a viral event.
Excellent. And I know Beyonce's mentioned
Yeah.
You're going to talk a little bit about the Beyonce effect and what it could do to a website?
Oh, yeah. How could I not? Yeah. It's, anytime, like, well, first of all, we live in a world where virality can happen at any point in time and any day. So if you're a small mom and pop shop, or you have, a really well written article, or just even like a silly cat video, all of a sudden it can go viral. And so some things can be unexpected. Something that I want to talk about is how do you prepare for the unexpected, but also the expected. So if you're, releasing a really highly coveted product and it's going to go on sale, for example, like during Black Friday, how do you prepare for that? Because a lot of questions that we get here is how many visitors can actually go on my site at once? So how much can my site handle, in other words?
Yeah.
That's a difficult question. And it's something that can be answered with load testing to give not only the customer, or maybe you're managing the site or your business, can give you guys more clarity and more confidence going into the event, knowing that, hey, we're on the right infrastructure. Our WordPress site is optimized as much as possible. And it's game time, because those kinds of big events mean a lot of revenue. And so there's a lot of money on the line. And, there's been some horror stories in the past where, like Amazon Prime has, during their sale, I think it was during Amazon Day in 2018, they've lost about $1.15 million worth of revenue per minute.
Yeah.
So that's huge. And so, obviously, they're one of the biggest businesses out there. But all of us, we have our own businesses at our own scale, and we want to make sure that we're going to be supported at every layer and every aspect whenever going into an event like that.
Yeah. It's so funny because when I know when people get started with a website, the biggest problem is, how do I get people to my site? How do I drive traffic to my site? And it's not often that people think about that kind of problem of like overnight success, or something just kind of taking off that comes out of the blue. But to prepare for something like that just sets your business up for success in so many different ways too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
If you're able to get that much traffic on your site, and let's say even if it's not a big event, maybe it's a small site, and you're going onto a new platform, or a new you're going to Google or AWS, and you just want to understand that, hey, how much can my site handle? I don't know. How many visitors can be on the site at once?
Yeah.
And it's just a good way to, load testing is a good way to find out. And it helps answer a lot of questions and understand what's happening under the hood whenever your site is experiencing peak load. So it's uncovering the black box in many ways.
So you've probably seen this happen a lot to WP Engine customers, where they get started and then all of a sudden this happens. Have you seen that happen before?
A lot.
Really?
I've seen a lot of businesses go on Shark Tank.
Oh.
Some of them that have not been successful because they're just getting way too much traffic and they weren't prepared for it. Folks that have been on the Today Show, those who do a lot of blog content creation for Apple products, that tends to be really viral as well. So I've seen a plethora of different businesses go through high traffic events and come to us saying like, hey, we don't know if we're ready for this yet, and we don't have enough time to be ready, or maybe they do have enough time and they don't know what to do to make sure that they're going to be up during, that event.
Wow, gotcha. So it sounds like this is definitely a talk that anyone who wants to be successful with their website needs to consider and come see you speak at WordCamp Phoenix, right?
Yeah, it's my first WordCamp talk.
Is it really? Oh,
Yeah,
congratulations.
and it's my first time in Arizona, let alone Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm like I'm like stoked.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
we hope to show you a very good time. WordCamp Phoenix has a reputation of being, we're going to have some of the best food and hopefully one of
Yeah.
the best parties. It's going to be
Awesome.
definitely a great time. We really are grateful to WP Engine for sponsoring at the Gold Prince of Bel-Air level, and we are thankful that you're coming to share your knowledge with the Phoenix community, the WordPress
Yeah.
community here. If someone wants to follow you on social media or find out more about you, where would they find you?
Good question. So I have a couple Twitter accounts. The easy one is it's Tony D. Lay. Yep, that's my Twitter account.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's ITS TONY D as in dog LE, and yeah, that's. And then I also have a WP Engine Twitter, which is Tony WPE.
Okay.
And so you can reach out to me in either one.
Great. And of course, WP Engine for all things, WPEngine.com for all things about the company. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks in Phoenix.